So today we'll first concentrate on Android architecture, and then followed by we'll discuss something else. Like see here. Now let us open that architecture. So Android architecture has like multiple layers. On the multiple layers, so some of first we'll start with one by one. So there are total 6 layers. So that one by one we will discuss. So just let me open the diagram of that architecture. So this is the architecture diagram. I'll zoom this. So in this, the first one, which is like here, it is the system image, system apps. So first one is the system apps.
How
Then,
did you share the screen?
sorry, I forgot to share the screen, I think. Now we are able to see, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So in this architecture now, I'll share you this URL. So here now, see how we have multiple things in this. The first one is the system apps. Second one is the framework. And the next is the library. So native C++ and runtime environment, hardware abstraction layer, Linux kernel. So these all are the main layers in our architecture. So in this now, one by one, we will see what happened. Like here, first one, system apps. Let us, for example, before going to deep in each and every section, let us say, for example, I want to open one application. So what happens? Let us say here, whatever we take camera. So first, as a user, I'm touching on camera. So that request will comes to here, then here, here, and from here it will interact with the user. Means each and every request should be travel along with this all the steps. So that process will happen here. So that's the reason here this has main and important, because last time we discussed Linux kernel and a definition. So all the applications will run on top of the Linux kernel. So because of that, each and every request, whatever the request will come, that should travel all this and it comes to here. Then from here, it will be interacted with the user. So that is the things will happen here. This right. Now, first one, it is the system apps. So what is system apps? So system apps is nothing but here, like from here, now we will see whatever the apps which we installed in our mobile. Maybe I have 20 apps, you have 30 apps, someone has only 2 apps. That depends on their mobile and their dependence, right? So like that, they have whatever the apps they install. So that's the reason. No need to discuss more on that particular this thing. Then after that, there will be a framework, API framework. So here it has 2 types. Means that API framework, either it will be support for the Java or Kotlin, it can support anything. So that's the reason it's a common framework for both like this. So then here now the manage, like here whatever we have this one framework. So the framework, and that the first section which is here, now this is the managers. So in this there are multiple managers are there. So those managers can do many things here. This first one on that is the activity. So in our terminology here, activity is nothing but here single page which has some user interface. So single page, it has some user interface, and so that we call as an activity. So activity is nothing but it can interact with the user. Like now I have opened one page in the browser. This I can say has one activity. Like I click this one. So this is another activity. This one is another activity. Like that, every page will be treated here as an activity. So that's the reason each and every application, whatever we seen, 98% of the applications will have more than one page, right? So all the pages could be handled by this act. Means like multiple things will be there, multiple things, like maybe I have video view, audio view, text view, and some animation view, like these kind of each and everything, it can be handled these activities. So the activity manager will handle all the things. Like maybe I click on first page, from the click I went to second page and back to first page, or in the same page continuously checking an internet connectivity. Such kind of all the things can be handled in a activity manager. This, the next step, it is the location manager. So the location manager, locations, like nowadays the location is one of the main, right? That is because every maximum of applications are working dependence on the location itself. So that's the reason location manager is also very important to get an accurate location. So all the things can be handled with this location manager. That is this. Next, package. So this is the package in nothing but here, like uh, we have multiple files. One, if I create one calculator application, for the calculator application itself I need a bunch of files. So those bunch of files I'll put together in a single package, so that we call as a package. Like that means maybe you can create one package or more than one package also you can create with this. So that package will call as here, this is this. And the next is the notifications. So that notifications also nowadays major role playing, right? Because now I booked one item in a Flipkart. Let us say I booked one mobile on a Flipkart. Immediately I'll receive a notification. So your order is confirmed, and it will deliver so and so date and shipped, reach it to your nearest point. Like that, every section we are receiving an alert. Like not only that, WhatsApp, I'm sending hi Sandhya, so then you are receiving one email, one notification. Someone calling, that you are receiving a notification. Like that, there are many kind of notifications. So those all the notifications can be handled by this framework itself, like this. And after that, so there is a resource. So this is the Android is whatever we are working on this platform. This platform is not a basic platform. This is not a, means this is not a core. This is not a core environment. We are working on a framework. So because of that framework, so there are a lot of resources are available here. Like I want to create a button with few lines, I can create a button. I want to write some addition, subtraction, multiplication. So those kind of things, just directly simply I can import the library of the respective functionality, respective library I can import on my class. Then I will write the respective functionality with very less lines of code. Otherwise, if that is not available, then what happens? You need to do lot of process, right? I think you have some knowledge on this imports, these things, right? If you don't have, we'll explain in detail. You have anything about that knowledge?
What, sir?
Like sometimes we are using some third-party libraries, na? That you have any idea about those things?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
Importing math.
Yeah, yeah. In general way, I'll tell you general with general example. Every day we are cooking a rice, right? So directly whatever the rice we buying, just we are cleaning with the water and we are directly cooking with that. But if that rice comes to us, means there are many process will be there, right? The farmer will start planting, like seeding, like lot of things will be there in the background. So means just we are using the rice framework directly. We are rice taking the rice and importing. Like similar here also, there are lot of libraries, lot of things will be available. So those just we are taking as a ready made that we are using here, that. So that's the reason here these resources will help in this. And after that, there will be a telephony manager. So this can be handled making the calls, and getting the internet, all the things can be handled like this. And a window manager, like same time I can use multiple windows, so some will be background, some will be in foreground, like that. That window manager can be handled this. So these are the manager thing. Like not only this, like this many as there, but these all are the important things that we are discussing here. And then after that, here another two things are here. One is the content provider, other is the view system. So view system will be provided the view, like because just now I told there are many different views. One will be animation view, text view, image view, video, like depends on a content. So that kind of thing it will support. The next is the content provider. In that word itself, it is the content provider. It will provide the content. It will save the content, but it will provide the content. Like see, I have saved, let us say I have saved your number as a Sandhya in my contacts. But if you messaged in WhatsApp, I received with same name Sandhya, right? Because from the phone, from the contacts, this contacts is the content provider. From the contacts, we are fetching the data to WhatsApp, Gmail, like same images gallery, from the gallery we're accessing in messages also, like many, not only contacts, just I said one example. Like that, there are many content providers will be there, so that we can see that how that we will be work on in the future. We'll see programmatically this. So this is an API framework layer. Then next, native C and the C++ libraries, because operating system can be developed on top of the C and C++ only. Any, not only this operating system, if you go any operating system like Windows, Mac, so these all are also operating systems will be built on top of these languages only. So this also providing some of the libraries. So those we can, means these resources are on top of this extra. The Google team has developed those resources, but these all are getting from the operating system side, right? One is the WebKit. Like let us say I want to create a browser like Chrome. I want to create one browser like Chrome. So that can be done by using this WebKit. Means WebKit library is available. You can take that. So on top of that, you can do some customizations so that you can post as your own browser. So that can be done here. Right. That is the one. Next, OpenMax AL. See, these are the OpenMax AL, OpenGL. These two are the graphic related libraries. So those can be handled these things, graphic things and all, and media framework. So this will be support for images, text, videos, such kind of things here. This next will be the library C. So the library C will be, this can be support with the library C. This and like this many as there, that is this. And after this, another section here, that is the runtime, Android runtime. So this Android runtime, while running this, it will core whatever the core libraries from the C and C++. On top of that, whatever we are writing the code, either you are writing on a code on a Java or Kotlin, so it will take that and it will do the next process, and that complete combine, and it will create a runtime environment, and it will give the output of that. So that is the one thing here. This right. On top of that, the next layer, hardware abstraction layer. So previously, like before 3 years back, hardware abstraction layer as well as the Linux kernel layer, both are same. So now in a latest architecture, so this has split it into two. Only whatever the hardware components are available on your mobile, so those will comes under this hardware abstraction layer. Like here, this we, if you can observe that, audio, Bluetooth, camera, sensor, so these kind of things will be here, this right. So that's the reason this will comes under this. The next before that, sorry, after that, Linux kernel layer. This Linux kernel layer is the main and important for us to do the next step on this, because whatever the request will come, all the request finally comes to this layer. In this, there is a one component called IPC, binder IPC, inter process communicator. So this inter process communicator will combine all the request, like layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, like that. It will combine all the request step by step, and then it interact directly to the user from this IPC section, right? So that is the process here. Next here, first drivers. So on the drivers here now, the first one could be here, the audio driver. Means like, see, previous days when we install, nowadays, like once we install operating system, all the drivers are installing along with the operating system. But previous days, it could not be like that. First, you have to install the operating system. On top of that, you have to install, like, you need audio driver, you need video driver, you need LAN, you need Wi-Fi, like each and every driver you have to install on those days. But nowadays it's not like that. All the drivers are coming defaultly. Like here also same here. Now this will be here. Like first one could be here, audio driver. So audio driver could be here. It will be like it will be audio. So that audio will be create automatically here. This, so it will support for the audios driver, right? Next keypad. So whatever the keypad, like because we are using this keypad, so that keypad driver will be here. So that keypad we will use here this, right? What, because virtual keyboard we are using, so that virtual keyboard we will use here this. So the next will be here Bluetooth. So that we will use here, like Bluetooth, whatever the Bluetooth connectivity we are using, that we are using that. So the next will be the display. So this display, whatever the display it will support, so that display here we will use, like because the many people like use the display drivers, means there are different kind of displays, so those displays should be available, like that will be here, that will be here to get this here. The display driver will help on this. Next, camera driver, so that will be handled like camera operations. Next, memory, shared memory, that memory, USB, Wi-Fi, power management, that can be handled by the battery. So these kind of all the things could be here. One by one it will handle this. So this is the complete architecture of this. Like for example here, see, now I click on camera. So camera required one view, it will come here. So for that, one activity is required here, 1 2 3. Then for this, media is required 4. So runtime is required 5. So camera hardware is required 6. So then 7 camera, it will come to camera drivers. Then it will goes to this 7 will come to here. So it will combine all the 7. From here now it will request users to this, right? So that is the thing will happens here. This is the main and important here, like this, right? Maybe sometimes some may skip. Let us say I open contacts. So to open contact, click on contacts, it will come to view. For this activity is required. From here, so runtime is required. This is not required. Runtime required. In this also not required. Directly will come to here somewhere. Like here it will goes to here. Display is required. From there it come directly, it come here. This, like this. So this will be means all the steps are not mandatory, but it follow step by step like this, right? So till it is clear, or you have any questions?
Clear, sir.
Yeah, okay. So now this architecture will be done. So after that, now the next, so now just I'll give you the small introduction about the XML. and XML structure. Then in the next class, we will create our first project and we'll start the coding of that. Okay. So now XML. XML is nothing but it's an extensible markup language. So that is extensible. So extensible markup language. So what is markup language? So whatever the language we use for the design, so that we will call as markup language. So that we will call as a markup language. So that like here see now HTML. HTML is also one of the markup language, that is hypertext markup language. This is the extensible markup languages, right? So both languages we will use for the design. So here also we will use the design. But why XML? Why not HTML here? So why not HTML? So HTML, whatever the pages we designed in on HTML, that has more weight and that should be suitable on the browsers, not for the apps. So even though on top of our this, we can do that, we can create that, but it will be heavyweight. Let us, for example, simple example, I'll tell you. Now, I have designed one web page like this, okay? So now, whatever the styles, whatever the this CSS styles, everything I have written in this, those all the things can be loaded from the JavaScript and CSS. But in case if comes to our page, whatever design I did, that support I can get from the operating system side. That is from the Android operating system side, we will get that support. But here it could not. Why? Because if I develop one website, that website you may open on your Mac system or Windows system or Android phone or iOS phone, like this, any of the platform you can open. So that's the reason while loading that page itself, whatever the parameters, whatever the things will be there, so those are also could be downloaded along with that. So that what happens when your mobile net bit little bit slow, if I use that, automatically that can be slow, application became slow. That's the reason here we could not use that. Here this XML that we will get from the local operating system support. So that's the reason we are using like this. But even here also we'll follow the same standard, like starting tag and ending tag, like this. One starting tag and one ending tag. In between the starting tag and ending tag, we will write here this. And like HTML here, there is no strict rules. So little bit compared to that, here it could not that much. Like for example, like how this code will start, I'll show you one sample. Let us take, I'll take one building as example, one building that is here. Now one building. So that is like this building, this is the starting tag and this is the ending tag. So whatever the building I'm taking, now this will be starting tag, and for the same here it will be ending tag. So means this has started here and this has ended here, right? So one starting tag, ending tag. In between, like this particular building, so the building has some height, right? It can occupy some height, also it has some width. So this I closed here, like this means whatever I closed this here, now this we will treat as a partial close. So I closed this tag partially. Here it is ending tag means here it is fully closed. So this is fully closed here, fully closed. So when I closed partially, like when I close partially, so that I can do many things on top of that. Whenever I close partially, so that in between of that, I can add multiple things. Means I can create another tags. But when I close like this, I cannot do. So now the building. So on the building, let us say this building has the 2 floors. So I'm creating here the first floor. First floor is the my tag. So this also have some width and height, right? But this I close like this. So now this is the starting tag and this is the ending tag. So I have created first floor. That's all. I closed that immediately. So I cannot arrange or I cannot put anything on the first floor. Means first floor is there, but it's fully packed with only the parameter called first floor. I cannot do anything on that. Right. Now, on top of that, there is a one other folder called second floor. So second floor. So this second floor is also having some height and width, but I close this partially after some gap here. I'm closing the second floor. Now this is partially closed, this is fully closed. Now what I'll do here, in between here, now I can create R1 room 1. So room 1 has some property like R2. Like this I can create multiple things in this. Same, our design will also follow the same structure and the same standard it will goes. So like this we have to go like here. Maybe today by seeing this you are maybe a little bit confused how this is working programmatically, but just to understand simple general example, I told this. Once you go now there we can start this. So that's the reason here we have to do this work like this, right? So far it is clear, or you have any questions?
All right, sir.
Yeah. So then what we will do is tomorrow, like means in next class, we will create first project. So then we will do there. From there onwards, like we will spend exactly 40 to 50 minutes of the session every day.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. So then we will see next class.